All right, we have two options for car blow dryers in our hands, and we have the Milwaukee 2724 20 18 volt, and we have this new Ego blower. This thing is freaking insane. I'm gonna show you the difference. I'm gonna compare and contrast, and I'm gonna show you why we're gonna be switching to the Ego blower. Come check this out. Okay, so one of the first things that you're gonna notice about the Ego blower is the size of the battery. Like, this thing is so crazy. Now, it says it runs up to 90 minutes, I believe, but that's without the turbo mode. So what we have here is the 765 CFM blower. It's the largest one that they make, and it's a brushless, just like the Milwaukee Fuel is a brushless. So what you have here with the turbo, though, the turbo mode on this is, I think, a 15-minute runtime is what they advertise. And then on the Milwaukee, it has a rabbit mode and a turtle mode. And, you know, I think it probably gets about similar, maybe not even, I'm not sure. But I've found some conflicting stats on the Milwaukee. I've seen everything from 4 something and above on the CFM on this, but I'm going to show you the difference in the batteries. It's just absolutely bonkers. I've never even held a cordless tool with a battery this large. If you've seen our wall, we have so many cordless power tools, and they're mostly Milwaukee, and I do like Milwaukee, but I don't think they compare at all. So here is the extended Milwaukee, one of the extended batteries. It's the 5.0 battery. You can see it here. It fits right in to the Milwaukee tool. If you're familiar with Milwaukee, you're familiar with that. Now, the battery on this thing is just absurd. This is the battery. This thing is the battery for this Ego blower. It's a 56 volt, 5 amp hour battery. It weighs more than the tool, I think, by itself. I don't have a scale out here, but I believe it weighs more than the tool. And so if you hit the little power button, it lights up so you can see how much power it has. The Milwaukee does something similar, so nothing crazy there. So this thing is just, like I said, it's just absurd. It comes with like a carrying strap and everything. So, you know, whether or not you're going to be using this for something other than detailing, you know, will determine on whether or not you use that carrying strap. Typically, I'll blow some leaves around my house or something, but by and large, I'm using this for detailing. So the Milwaukee, similar to the Ego, the Milwaukee comes with a longer nozzle, which since I don't even know where it is, I tossed it. And then I bought a 3D printed stubby, and then a 3D printed sort of flat tip. Now, I have one coming for the Ego from Etsy. I'll send you a link to where I get it from, but it's not here yet. So, you know, for now, I'm just going to show you the tool as it is. But I highly suggest, you know, building out a stubby system, and, you know, putting that much airflow through this smaller space is going to direct that air even better. But the Ego does come with some attachments. So it comes, this, you know, it says 765 CFM on it, and it says the industry's most powerful handheld blower. And my initial impression is I definitely believe that. So this just kind of snaps into place, and it does have a flat tip, which I'll use to demonstrate today. But realistically, you know, I don't want to be trying to maneuver this thing around my cars, or any cars really, and you can see the difference. So once we get our new tip in for the Ego, it'll be about the size of our Milwaukee, and I'll make a video with an update. And then this, instead of the flat tip, this just directs it into a smaller funnel. Now, the interesting thing is, if you take, so the Ego is actually perfectly balanced here. If you take a look, it's actually perfectly balanced. So it's designed pretty well. If you take this funnel off, you see it tips over backwards. Okay, so that doesn't really matter to me too much, but it's interesting to note that they made it completely balanced. So there obviously some engineering went into this with this nozzle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how the Milwaukee's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to show you how that works, and then I'm going to show you the Ego here. So the Milwaukee, like I mentioned, simply has a rabbit and a turtle mode, and you know, we obviously want, you could just click this button and it just cycles between. We definitely want the rabbit mode. It has a variable trigger, so that means like if you press it just a little bit, it goes, and then if you press it all the way, you know, it goes all the way. So it's pretty straightforward. The Milwaukee has a lock button. And so the lock button allows us to just depress it and move on. And you can see the Milwaukee is down to 2 bars. So I'll change that out before we do our actual testing. The Ego, on the other hand, is a little bit different. So the Ego has a turbo mode, and then it has a switch here. And so the switch itself allows us to, instead of the locking mechanism, we just rotate the switch. And then it also has the variable trigger, and then you press the turbo button for the 15-minute turbo mode, which is surely to drain this battery pretty fast. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to change out the Milwaukee battery, and then I'm going to spray off my car on the hood, and then I'm going to show you the difference between the Ego and the Milwaukee. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, of course our cars are all ceramic coated. I'm going to put some water on it, and then I'm going to show you the difference between the two tools. You know, this is not carbon fiber hood, it's carbon fiber PPF, it's hydrophobic, and you know, it's all ceramic coated. But we're going to show that first, and then you can determine for yourself. So the thing to understand, of course, is that these blowers, they're all going to work better if the car is coated. If the car is uncoated, you know, the water will stick a little bit more. So I'm going to show you the Milwaukee first. All right, hopefully I don't knock the stand down here. So maybe we'll blow it up towards the windshield. We'll blow it against gravity just so it shows you even more. Okay, so you can see it's a pretty good result. It's not like it's a bad result by any stretch. All right, now I'm gonna spray it, and then we're gonna do the Ego. All right, I'm gonna try it without the tip first, and we'll see what it does. Wow. Okay, so that was the first time. I didn't prep this prior to doing the video. I did this at the same time. You're watching it for the first time as me. So like, this is just insane how great this is. I wonder if it's going to be even better when we get the stubby tip. So we'll do it on the windshield next, because our windshield's also coated. That thing is insane. Now, some people may claim like, oh, wow, it's only got a 15-minute runtime on turbo, but at 15 minutes, I'll be surprised if you can't get a vehicle dry in that time. Okay, so the next test is this quarter panel on our car is actually not covered in PPF. It's also not ceramic coated, and the reason is because we just haven't gotten to it yet. And these are our brand new Aerolari wheels, and they're not ceramic coated yet either. So I'm gonna give you an indication of what the performance is like on non-ceramic coated surfaces with the Ego. So you kind of see how the water sits on there a little bit more. So let's give it a whirl and see what this does. All right, so it's definitely, takes a little bit more effort, and that's, like I said, because it's not a ceramic coated surface. And now I'll show you how the Milwaukee does in the same situation. All right, here's the Milwaukee. All right, honestly, without a ceramic coated surface, you can see that the Milwaukee takes a little bit more time. And in this case, I probably would dry it with a towel anyways, just because it didn't get quite as much as I wanted. And also note that we have spot-free water. So if I let the water just sit on the car, it's not gonna leave any water spots. Now, is the Ego blower pure insanity on turbo mode? I'm not really sure, but we're definitely gonna be switching to it going forward.